Again, it is October 10th, 2020, 4 o'clock. We are going to take stock of artificial intelligence cryptocurrencies. We are going to look at GRTWLD, the currency, the flow, the lay, and the chlorine. Make yourself comfortable, we are watching this video. But first of all, I want to remind everyone that everything I am going to say in this video is in no way financial advice. It is up to you to do your own research. And don't forget that trading cryptocurrencies carries risks of partial or significant losses. Alright, let's start with the cryptocurrency GRT. There is no particular order, I'm just taking them from the list. I have in front of me, there you go, I don't have a specific order, so there you have it. So here we start with the cryptocurrency GRT. What we see is that we have found a very nice bounce here on an old range. Do you see this purple box here? Following the breakout of the descending wedge from the top, we came back to retest this previous range. So what is happening? We broke out to the upside. Subsequently, we formed what is called an ascending channel. As you can see here in white, the setup is and remains bullish as long as we are within this ascending channel. Now the problem is that we have a Bitcoin that isn't really pushing hard, so naturally that doesn't help the altcoins to push either. But for now, we are in a very nice setup with a perfect retest of the top of the range. Here the support zone is at 0.1521. This is a support level. Obviously we should not break it. If we break this support, you understand, it will be a re-entry into the range from the top. We could reach the bottom of the ascending channel, so the bottom of the channel is at 0.14406. And if we break this lower part of the ascending channel, we will head towards the bottom of the range, which will be the next support at 0.1242014. So for now, the setup is looking pretty good. We can also see here the emergence of a first bottom, second bottom, so this is a double bottom currently forming. I remind you that it is a bullish reversal chart pattern. But to validate this pattern, we are not there yet. We will need to push and aim for 0.516405. And indeed, in this case, we could validate this double bottom and rise to first target the middle of the ascending channel, which I remind you is a resistance. So the middle of the channel is located here at 0.107202. And if we break the middle of the channel, it will be to reach the top of the channel at 0.20. And if we break this channel to the upside, you understand, it could push us even higher. We're not there yet, we'll simply have to be patient, because right now we could also form here, as you know. In any case, there are quite a few cryptocurrencies that have this setup. I had already mentioned this in my previous videos. I told you that Bitcoin was forming a gigantic cup pattern on the daily chart, and that this cup pattern was replicated across most altcoins. So here we see a cup with a small handle on the side. That's very bullish if we can validate that, but we're not there yet. We still need to break a key point at 0.10909. So we're not there yet, but in any case, if we manage to form that, it could be very, very, very interesting for the coming weeks. Let's continue with the WLD, which made an attempt to push, it should be noted, was very, very, very fragile. But we still had a breakout. Look, it should be noted here. So we had an attempt to break out upwards. So on September 20th, bam. Attempt to break out, first upward push. Here we had 1-2 attempt. Whatever happens, we needed to break the zeros, sorry. The 1.420.114.03 here as well. So between October 5 and October 7th we did. Finally on October 9th, sorry, we made attempts to break out as you can see, but we only had wicks. And in the end, unfortunately, we are still inside this range. So here, as long as we can't break this range to the upside, unfortunately, we are stuck. We really need to get out of this range if we want to reach higher points. By the way, in reality, I will simply redraw this range in light of the new data. There you go, it's much cleaner technically to have this range here, which is a good matching point between here, the touch that was made there, here, the touch here, and other contact points, so it's definitely much cleaner. So we have a range high here at 2014-2107, so that's our key level to break. We are still on a very small, fragile upward trend line, but it still has the merit of being there. You can see it here. So for now, on the WLD side, as long as we don't break this line, meaning as long as we don't break the 1,606,403 level here, everything is fine for now. We are still following this upward trend. What we hope is to bounce off this trend line to reach the top of the range and attempt to break out upwards. Because if we lose this upward trend line, unfortunately, you understand, it would be to seek the bottom of the range at 130.3423. The NMR crypto. So the currency, which is also in a very small setup, for now with a bullish trend line in view, as we can see here. Well, for now it seems to be holding. That's good, by the way. So as long as we don't break the 13.420.13 level here, we are still in this bullish setup, which is quite nice. Here we are forming a very small double bottom. In any case, we have seen this on Bitcoin, and it is also occurring on altcoins. So naturally, There are quite a few cryptos that have this roughly identical setup. So here, on the NMR side, we absolutely need to break a resistance that is located here at 15,108 to validate this double bottom. On top of that, what's good is that it's a double bottom positioned on the upward trend line, so we have no idea if it will hold. If it holds, that's great. This would allow us to regain strength and aim for the last high point at 10,81009, then the 10,8428. And in that case, we could form a very large double bottom pattern. Here we find it, a first bottom in sight, 3 days, second bottom. I even believe that on the weekly view, it will be a bit cleaner, I think. Me, a little less. It's not incredible either, but well, there you go. So indeed, we could have a rather interesting chart pattern to watch. So we're not there yet, but it's true that it's 2021. Crypto to watch. We are not yet at the key level, but the good thing is that we don't have much time left before the breakout. That is to say, here you see it. Here we have the line that I am drawing for you, which corresponds to the resistance. And here is the bullish trend line. So you see it in this triangle that is here. Here, we will have our breakout. So it could be today, or it could be until October 20th. But in any case, we will have a breakout at some point between those dates. And so we obviously hope that this will be a bullish breakout to reach the higher points I mentioned, but be careful not to break this small bullish trend line as long as we are following it for now. That's a good thing. Alright, let's continue. We're going to look at CryptoFlux. So, CryptoFlux is a little less pretty. Let's not kid ourselves, we have broken a bullish trend line here, as you can see. Unfortunately, we absolutely need to get back above the USEN moving average ribbon. We must also regain the resistance zone here at 0.602948, as long as we are below these key resistance levels. Unfortunately, the setup is not very pretty. You know, break of a bullish trend line, sell signal, it's dropping. So we will have some interesting supports. In fact, we are currently resting on a support. We have the support at 0.40981, and we will have the support here at 0.40460420109. So for now, we are above the supports, but if these supports give way, let's be extremely cautious about that. So we continue. We arrive at CryptoLay. So this cryptocurrency, we were able to anticipate it here on the breakout of the range to the upside, which allowed us to catch this movement. So what was the movement worth? Since I had already analyzed it quite a bit on my YouTube channel, it was still a movement to consider. So that's pretty good. It allowed us to have these in our pocket. But after, I had clearly explained to you that every time we break a key level, we come back to retest it. So there are many people who do not think about taking their... So here we did have a nice breakout with a nice pump, but afterwards we didn't have a pullback. So now indeed, we are experiencing this famous pullback. And unfortunately, we even re-entered the range from the top, which was not a good sign. So now, if we want to regain strength, we absolutely need to get back above 0.018406. This is our key level that we need to break if we want to regain strength. As long as we are below it, unfortunately, we are in a range. So, well, we just have to wait. And worse than that, if we continue to drop, the goal would be to reach the bottom of the range here at 0.04201094, 0.013. That's why we absolutely need to bounce off the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. Boom! We go back to seek the top of the range. Of course, all of this will go through the... And if we break this range to the upside, we could recover strength. Alright, let's finish with the chlorine crypto, which is actually quite nice. Let's not kid ourselves, we had a very nice bearish configuration here, as you can see. And then behind, well, we broke that bearish trend. We were forming lower lows and lower highs. So indeed, we were clearly in a bearish configuration, and then afterwards we broke that bearish configuration. Boom! You can see it. A big, huge bullish push. And right now, we are forming what we call a bull flag, an incoming movement that is bullish. A retracement, by the way, a retracement in the form of a descending wedge. Please, there we go. Like this, we have a sort of descending wedge like that. So that's it. It should be noted that this type of pattern generally tends to break upward. Once again, these are just probabilities. We cannot be certain. In cryptocurrency trading, I remind you that it is the most difficult market. But in any case, we are still on a nice pattern, rather bullish 2001. So here we need to break through if we really want to regain strength. The levels of 0.09256, and especially the 200 period moving average at 0.11060, or even the last high point here at 0.113402. And in that case, we could form a very nice cup with a handle. And if we break that to the upside, you got it, boom. Explosion. We could aim for much higher points that we will be able to analyze in my previous videos, because as you can see, we are not there yet. So we won't make any plans based on speculation, but this could be quite an incredible configuration. Be careful not to break the 50 period moving average here at 0.08045, as that would unfortunately be a very bad sign. And this might be to return to seek the support of 0.078428, So let's still be a little cautious about this crypto. There you go. Let me know in the comments if you want me to analyze other cryptocurrencies in the areas of cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. Don't forget to like, comment, share as much as possible, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. I just wish you an excellent day. I'll say ciao ciao.